And Ken, you, I mean, the Tet Offensive is real for you because you were wounded the very first day in one of the biggest fights. And you were at a place called Way City, which is a beautiful city. And of course, it's been rebuilt now, but there are still places in Way where you can see the old bullet holes and things like that. Let's just go through a few of these. That box there, I think, shows the general area that you were in. And so start walking us through it. So you're told that there's a skirmish in Way City, and pick up the story.
We had been out in the field guarding a mountain by Fubai, and the morning of the 31st, they told us to come in. So as we started in, we were told that we were going to be put on trucks and taken to Way City. They told us there's a few NVA, VC in the area, and that we don't even worry about taking your packs. You'll probably be back this evening. So we loaded the trucks like that picture showing and headed in to Way City when it wasn't didn't seem very far at the time, but one thing we noticed is that we didn't see any people, and normally people would be out, and we didn't realize that between 8,000 and 10,000 NVA, North Vietnamese soldiers, and the Viet Cong had come into the city in the early morning hours on the 31st and had started setting up their defense of the city. But as we made our way, we were told to go to the MACV compound, which was a military assistance Vietnam compound where it was kind of a headquarters. It's in the little yellow square there. There was Army advisors, and there wasn't very many people there. There was probably 50, but they were being hammered, and they were trying to overrun them. And our objective at that point was to go in and relieve that military command post. I served with Goff Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division, and we were attached to 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, because what they did, they just took the people that were in Fubai and put them together. So Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 1st Marines were ahead of us. And as they were making their way into Way City, we came under tremendous amount of attacks, small arms mainly. And as we finally had to get off the trucks because the fire was coming at us where you couldn't stay congregated. So we got in the ditch and we run up the ditch alongside the road, and you never will forget those rounds popping over your head and zinging around you. And as we're running, my squad leader is in front, the radio man, and I was the Grenadier, which is a M79. It's a weapon that shoots like a grenade further than you can throw one and not as far as a mortar goes. But they hit the radio man, and he went flying, and I ran up to him and tried to help him, and our corpsman, Doc Kirkham, came up, and I'm wanting to hand him off because he had been hit in the back of the head, and as soon as Doc Kirkham got to him, I kept going along with the rest of our units. They did have to gather them up, the wounded that we were getting, and take back on a truck. So we made it to the MACV compound and got relief from them. And then we were told that we were going to cross the Perfume River, and you've got the south side of Way City, and which is the new section, and the old section is the Citadel area on the north side. We were told there was a South Vietnamese unit headquarters in the Citadel in one little corner of it. Now this Citadel is about a mile and a third on each side, so it's a big area. And we were told that our company was going to have to cross the river and link up with that South Vietnamese Army unit. And my platoon was the first platoon, and they assigned second platoon to go across the bridge first. Now, the North Vietnamese Army had a chance to set up machine guns on the other side of the bridge. And so as they take off, we're trying to lay fire for them from the side of the bridge. But when they let them get about halfway across, they opened up on them. That bridge is about 450 yards, and it's not a raised bridge, it's more flat. It's an old steel bridge. And they wounded and a lot of Marines. We were then told to go pick them up. So that's when we start running, and you're running down through that bridge on that road, and it's not a real big, wide bridge. And you're looking at each steel beam. And as you go by that beam, you look at the next one, because you know that pretty soon they're going to open up on you. One good thing that happened, Lester Tully, a corporal in the other platoon, managed to get up with some hand grenades and throw into the machine gun pit and took that machine gun pit out. We were able to bring those wounded back and get them back into the MAC-V compound where they could be triaged and tried to be taken care of. After we did that, we got kind of regrouped, and they said, your platoon is going to go across. So we geared up and we headed across the bridge, and we made it into the buildings on the other side. There was a lot of NVA soldiers that I was seeing for the first time that looked like they had newer uniforms. They looked very, very professional as far as their dress. And we made it into like a theater area, and then we turned, and then we were going to go down the road that goes into the Citadel. And as we made that corner, and that's the corner that we came in from this direction and turned right, and they let the platoon get probably 60, 70 yards down that street when they opened up on us. They were in the Citadel and in some of those houses that you see in the windows. And we had never been involved in street fighting. We did not know. We had my squad leader, Glenn Lucas, was killed. He was on the other side of the street from me, and also Donald Kirkham, the corpsman that had helped the other radio man out. He was also killed. Gerald Kinney was up the street, a machine gunner. He was killed. The rest of us, we were either behind a tree or we were in the door facings where we could get some protection. There wasn't any way you could move. The bullets were raining in. You couldn't take a step to the right or to the left of wherever you were. They had us pinned down where we couldn't do anything. I have a Larry Lucas was on the left side of that street, and he was peeking around the edge of the tree, and he wasn't shooting, but he was giving me directions as to where to fire my 79, and I was trying to put rounds up into that building. The amount of firepower that they trained on that tree with me behind it